Right. We've talked about equilibrium quantity, equilibrium price. That's when everything's perfect, but we know the world doesn't usually operate in equilibrium, it operates in disequilibrium. So looked at shortages. Here's an example. Let's say there was a medical study that said bananas will prevent hair loss and possibly regrow already lost hair. It'd be wild. But as a result, you could imagine that Mr. Seaton, Mr. Fiscum, Mr. Drexler, all these guys would be running to Super One, Walmart, Ernie's, wherever, John's, to get their bananas. So a study like that could cause a shortage. Here's a picture that I took at a Cashwise Foods in Fargo. Take a look at all of the Hawaiian Punch. There was no shortage that day of Hawaiian Punch at Cashwise. Instead, it's the opposite, which is a surplus. A surplus is a situation where the quantity supplied is greater than the quantity demanded. And so what happens when you have too much fruit punch is that fruit punch was marked on sale, like maybe a 2 for $4 because they had so much they wanted to get rid of it. Like if you've ever gone shopping and you walk like end caps of an aisle, a lot of times you'll find clearance stuff because they need to get rid of it. So let's say the day after Easter, you go to the grocery store, you're going to find Easter candy on clearance because there was a surplus. There was too much supply, not enough demand. Another example I have, I don't know if any of you have ever had one of these or grandparents, family members have a big mouth Billy Bass, but I remember one Christmas, those were like the hot item and everyone had them. And then people found out like they're actually really annoying. And so the next year you'd find them, like you'd walk down the aisles of Target and they would be on an end cap or like at Menards for like $9.99 because people just weren't that nostalgic about them anymore. Or technology, like TVs are constantly changing. So when a new technology of a TV comes out, then the old ones will go on massive sale because they want to get rid of them. And so it causes a decrease in price. So let's look. If pizza were 15 bucks, there'd be 8 million demanded, 28 million supplied. So what do you have in that case? You're going to have a surplus. So what needs to happen is you got to drop the price. If it's $12, you have 14 million demanded, 24 million supplied. You got a surplus. Let's drop the price. Oh, and then you got $9, 20 million demanded, 20 million supplied. Hey, we got equilibrium. Your price is perfect. Then at $6, 26 million demanded, only 16 million supplied. Now we have a shortage. Raise the price. And then same with $3, you're going to have a massive shortage. That'd be awesome. But raise the price. So shortage versus surplus. Sometimes the government has to step in and have a price ceiling, which is like the maximum price that could be charged for something. That would be an example like for gasoline or rent control. Also, like when we had the wolf hunting, wolf trapping season, they had a quota, which was like a maximum of how many wolves could be harvested in our state. If you've ever watched the show Friends, it was not realistic that Monica could afford this apartment. Well, how they wrote it into the show Friends is that it was actually Monica's grandma's rent controlled apartment. Grandma died, Monica swooped in and took over her grandma's lease. So in cities where there's really, really expensive rent, high demand, is they'll actually have rent control. Look it up if you want to know more about rent control. Another time the government will step in are for price floors, which is the minimum price, like minimum wage, or having a minimum price for farm products to make sure that farmers can survive, that the price, like per bushel of corn, doesn't go below. So a price floor is a minimum price.